So here's a How You Doing show. How you doing? Hello there. We're talking to the guys in the Summit Lounge / Social Club, which is pretty interesting in itself.
It's an interesting thing.
When did this social club open?
2018. We started planning 2017, 2018. We actually opened the door. My brother. Have we started yet? Are we starting?
No, but he didn't even let you finish the question. He's already
Rob is firing.
My boy just fired.
Yeah, is this guy fed? What's going on over
Your
here?
brother's idea, huh?
Yeah. No,
Rob
so,
just fucking drops the jaws and rams the fucking thing in, dude.
bro,
He don't
he's just
fucking, there's no
hitting with
foreplay,
the
dude,
questions,
for Rob.
bro. No,
There's no foreplay, dude. You
no
don't
move,
even get
no nothing.
Yeah.
You don't even get the fucking the hawk tour, dude.
Yeah. But neon out the mud. Before I get it out the mud, I stay on top of my fitness and hit the shower, clean it up, and then get back to the business. I don't care about who did it, I ain't worried who didn't. I head directly to the back, so I'll be there in a minute. I got expensive taste, the rollie got a different face, but surely I be in them places they won't let you pass the gate. Post it up, sipping $1,000 scotches with the rock in it.
Yeah, do the intro. Do the intro.
Yeah, how you doing, show? Kyle Moon, Summit Lounge.
What's up? What's going on?
Private social club.
Yes.
The particular thing about this social club, it's open to cannabis.
It is. Yep.
How you
we
doing
do
on that
allow.
one?
We
Yeah.
allow the consumption.
Yeah, 2018, you've been in business.
Yeah.
Where we going?
Oh, you want me to talk now?
Yeah, there you go, Rob.
Okay.
Somebody unmuted
Please
him.
join the conversation now.
Summit-
Rob, we
the Summit
unmuted
Lounge-
you.
The Summit Lounge / Social Club. It opened in 2018. When you first opened, did the town give you a lot of problems to open with Board of Health? What was the actual...
Will I say problems? No. Was there a lot of conversations? Yes. Right? Because it was something that hadn't been done. There were no rules. There were no regulations.
Like the fire department, they must have had some weird rules.
Nope. So we're not licensed like a cannabis establishment. We're licensed as a private membership association.
Like a private club.
Yeah.
Like
so
a
there's
speakeasy?
not. So honestly, there's not a lot of regulations. Like if you look at private club regulations throughout towns and municipalities, like there just isn't. It's like a fourth. It's not a thing anymore, right? Like 50 years ago when you got the Elks Lodges, the VFWs, like all that type of, that's where people socialized back in the day.
Even going back to like the Constitution, right?
Yeah,
Where
right. You get into like the Masons, you get into these fraternal organizations that literally set up our country, right? So there's not, under the Fourth and the 14th Amendment, we have the right to privacy and we have the right to associate, right? And when you choose to associate with another individual in private, the government doesn't have purview over that, right? So
these laws are pretty lax.
They're pretty lax, right?
So it's a club. People join the club. And
Now
then they
People
go
join the
there.
club, we hang out. Yeah, I mean, obviously we have to follow like all the regular building codes and all that stuff, but we're not like, when you look at like cannabis law, like or cannabis regulations, like there's just so much extra, right? We're just like a regular business, you know?
What about people getting really high and getting in the vehicle? You got to watch that?
We've never had a problem with it. People, you know, I find people that frequent the lounge consume almost daily, the majority of them, so they pretty much know what they're getting into. You know, every now and then we'll get like a new timer, but you know, we always advise them like, you know, slow and steady or whatever. You
How
know?
many
Slow
people
and
you
steady.
allowed?
Yeah, like that fucking saying.
How many people you allowed
Pace
inside?
yourself.
60. So we have an occupancy of 60.
60.
Yep.
Were you the first
Yeah.
in the state of Mass?
Yeah, we were the first in the state of Mass. There was one other one in Rhode Island, but we were the first like rec and medical establishment.
What, the Hookah
right?
Lounge on Broad Street?
No, Tetrahydra Club. So they've been around for years, but they're more like it's a different type of establishment. You know what I mean? It's not the same as ours, but yeah, we were the first in Massachusetts.
This is mainly strictly cannabis smoke. Can people smoke cigarettes in there?
No, so when we first opened, you could. Once during COVID, we got a food license. We got a food prep license, so you can't smoke tobacco in a food prep establishment.
So I like the idea of this social club thing, right?
It brings it back.
Can you have like bachelor parties there?
Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Strippers?
You want strippers? You can have strippers. I don't have strippers there, but you can have them there.
You know this guy Jeff that wants to get us.
Allegedly.
We're gonna get him a stripper.
Bro. I was talking with some dude today about hosting like bigger parties at like mansions and shit, and he was like, "Oh, my boy was telling me like he can get the girls to go there. They rent the house at a premium. The girls come with the house."
Do you have a liquor license?
No.
Is this in Colombia or is this local?
No, this is local.
Is this BYOB?
Yeah.
How about video poker machines?
You're
Have you
getting
those?
crazy. You're getting crazy now, because then you touch all the gambling stuff. The
No,
gambling
it's
stuff.
only for fun.
No, you can't. We do poker every now and then. So we have a bunch of poker tables, shit like that. People play it. We used to run a game with a bunch of my friends that would come through. It's basically a space
some
for you to
pictures
do what
tonight.
you want to do.
6, 5, 4,
we
3,
don't
2,
really
1.
do
Yeah, for
anything.
sure.
We just provide the space. You do whatever you want to do there.
So how much does it cost to join this social club?
Standard use fee $10. So you come in on like a regular Thursday night, pay $10. So we don't charge for the membership, we charge per use, right? So like everyone gets a lifetime membership for free.
$10 every time somebody comes.
Yeah, give or take. Depending on the event, depending on the night, depending on
you
what's
have
going on.
events?
Oh, we have tons of events. I have 3 events this week.
Do you have any VIP spots?
So we have like a little side room in the back that's like, you can put like a curtain on it, which we've done, but
What,
like
the bubble room?
I wish.
That's where Rick wants to go.
I fucking wish. It has a carpet, so we can't do anything too crazy. But it's a little side room. It's got like a TV in there. We call it the game room. That's where we keep all like the board games and shit. That's where the couches are. But it's not big enough. Like honestly, if I could do it again, I would get a bigger space. But when we opened, we didn't even know if we were gonna be able to stay open. There
I
are
like
plans.
the idea of the social club. I went to a swingers club one time.
Let
me tell you what, that was interesting.
Hey, there's some swinger restaurants.
So our membership agreement came from a swingers club in Atlanta. My cousin's a lawyer. He got it from there. That's where we got it from. We literally stole their membership agreement, changed it up a little bit.
Have a lot of events.
Wait, what happened?
We stole the membership agreement from a private sex club in Atlanta and then adjusted it for a private smoking lounge. So all the verbiage and everything, we like changed a bunch of
The
shit.
lingo's right. basically.
Allegedly, they did this.
Yeah.
Everything, let's put a caveat, all right? Everything is allegedly. Okay? All right, exactly.
Potentially, I got you.
These are all good ideas.
I got
okay?
you. Yeah, it's such a great idea.
That's such a great idea.
So 2018, you opened. What?
Yeah.
How did you become to open? What was the idea? What was the thought?
Bro, all right, so...
How did that come about? Were we all baked one day?
So my brother owned a cultivation in Pennsylvania. He went to a trade show in Colorado. Couldn't find anywhere to smoke, so he went to like this little like backdoor like private club. Came back, pitched my whole family on it. Was like, this is a super cool idea, this and that, and we were like, that's illegal. And he was like, and we were all like, there's no way someone would have done that. Like, this is definitely illegal in Massachusetts. So my uncle's a lawyer. We pitched him the idea. He was like, that's illegal. You can't do that. And we're like, just look into it. Check it out. Let us know. 3 weeks later, called us back. Yes. Called us back and was like, it's not illegal, but it's not like explicitly legal. And we were like, all right, well, what the fuck does that mean? Typical lawyer.
Jargon. Yeah, they can't give you a straight answer.
I'm like, can you just tell me, can I do this or not? And
am I going to get off or not? Well,
all right. So that's the next question I asked was like, hey, if I go to jail for this, would you take that case? Right? Like if I was just coming off the street and I did this, would you take that case? And do you think you could win? And he was like, yeah, I'd take that case. And so we did it. And I was the only, so I had just, so I got in that motorcycle accident that we were talking about, and I got a bunch of money from that. Invested in Ethereum and was just kind of chilling. So I was the only like family member that wasn't really.
Oh, you did good on the crypto?
I did decent on the crypto.
Yeah.
This was before it was crypto, right? Like, dude, I bought Ethereum when it was
unlike Tom Brady,
$32 a coin. And I sold it when it was like around 500.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep. So I made enough money where I chilled for probably 2 years and did nothing. And just traveled. I spent like 3 months in Colorado, just like in the wind. That was nice.
Hotels, room service?
No. Like living out of the back of a truck and just getting it in the mountains.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, it was dope, dude. We went to
wrangling.
Yeah, it was fucking great. It was amazing, bro. If I could have found a farm, I would have found a farm.
Did you have weed?
No, I don't smoke.
You don't smoke weed?
No. So
but yet you have a social club?
So I got sober in 2013. I got released from jail. Went to the Salvation Army.
Oh, you were in the cooler?
I was.
What did you do?
It's a good question. Long list of stuff.
Was drinking involved?
No, heroin was involved. Heroin and a lot of cocaine. And,
you got caught?
Yep. So they raided my house. They found.
Were you using it too?
Yes, I was. Yep.
Well, you know what? Less than 10% of the people that were on that shit got off it. So
Yeah.
I congratulate you on that. So one day you just said, I'm all set with that, and that was it?
It was a long fucking thing. No. So it was, my house got raided 2011. They kicked in my door. I got indicted. And then I got released on bail. Went right back to the old life. Then I got arrested again for assault with a deadly weapon and threat to commit a felony murder. And then I got out again on house arrest. Started using again.
Got a bracelet?
I did. Yeah, I started using again.
Charge it up?
It was a fucking nightmare, too.
So you said, wait, assault and battery with a deadly weapon?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
that's
So
fucking some gangster shit, dude. We don't get into that. It's going to be part 2.
Part two. Yeah, no, it was a long road to recovery, right?
How long were you on the stuff
good for you.
I started using when I was probably 12 or 13.
Well, you were definitely in the 10%.
I was
heroin at 12 to 13?
No, it was more like party drugs back then.
Coca.
Yeah,
ecstasy.
coke, a little bit of
that's a hell of a
ecstasy,
drug.
some acid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just having a good time. And then I feel like 2009, 2008, right around the time when I graduated high school, like it was weird because I sold a bunch of weed back then, and then like everyone just switched from like buying weed and all these party drugs to just wanting pills. So I was like, that's where the money is.
Oh, the
I was young. The perk 30s, Oxy
The
80s.
15s, 30s. So
Yep.
that was it.
Yep. So so I started doing that, and then obviously started using, and then
How long were you in jail for?
probably like a year on and off. I kept getting out and going back, getting out, going back.
What'd you get all your cases thrown out or something? Or
No, so what happened was, I got indicted, and then everything got moved into Superior Court, and I was on pretrial for like 5 years, and we were fighting it. They wanted 5 to 7 years. They tried to charge me with armed career criminal because I had a bunch of juvenile gun cases as well.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
with the adult, I got caught with a sawed off and some heroin, and so it was like over the course of like 2 years, I probably did a year in total.
must have had a good lawyer here.
Yeah,
did,
that's
my
what I
uncle.
was thinking.
My
With
uncle.
all those charges?
I did have a
Shit.
very good lawyer. Yes.
There's people doing 40 to 60 with fucking
dude,
way
so,
less.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucked up.
So anyway, so I get indicted. They're asking for 5 to 7, like minimum mandatory, because I got caught with a sawed off, and there was a lot of like extenuating
You had a
circumstances.
shot off, like pocket full of
that should be like
shells.
half the time because it's not a full gun, right?
Well,
you
that's
fucking
what I
cut
said.
half of
that's,
it off.
That's I was trying to convince him. I thought we had rights.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought how can I get caught with an illegal gun? Isn't the Second Amendment like a thing? Like
Yeah.
no, but apparently it's not
No,
when you're a criminal.
They kind of, you saw a barrel off. It's for close
To
range.
modifying a firearm, okay, it's a thing. But yeah, so I got wicked involved in the recovery movement, and what ended up happening was they were asking for the state time, and I was out on bail. I got sober. I got a picture of me with the DA of Worcester County and the chief of police of my town, and we were at like this recovery event thing, and I was like talking to the kids about drug addiction and this and that, and we got a picture of them, and we sent it to the DA that was prosecuting my case. And we created a conflict of interest. So then they couldn't no longer try my case. So they had to hire an outside prosecutor who then came in and was like, he's been on pretrial for 5 years. Like, what are we doing? And there was a lot, like the search warrant. It was questionable. You know what I mean? The testimony.
hearsay going on.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of hearsay, a lot of things that could have been challenged. What do they call it?
what a great move.
Fruit of a poisonous
suppressed.
tree. And then,
Not admissible.
hey.
Not guilty.
Dude,
I don't know. Was the gun where she said it was?
Well,
Was
the
it
good
not?
part-
Like, did they have permission to search that part of the house? Did they not? You know what I mean?
They have a
There were a lot of questions. So what happened was that special prosecutor came in, saw that I had been sober for 5 years and doing all this work in the community, and pretty much was like, "Hey, I'll give you 5 years probation with a 2.5 suspended sentence."
Oof.
And then, I finished probation.
There was no recooling.
No. I
learned.
fucking time served. It was fucking great. Yeah.
dude, what a fucking great picture that is. That thing would be up on my fucking wall.
Conflict of interest.
You know what I'm
Wait,
saying?
Bro, it was lucky because dude would have a plea bargain every couple of months. Would go in, they'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna plea you out, time served, this and that," and then we'd get there, and the DA would be like, "No, minimum 18 months," and I'm like, "Bro, I've been out of jail for fucking 5 years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I have a life. Like, I'm
think
not going back to, like, let's go to the
think
hoop.
the
Like, I'm
clean-
like, we're taking it to trial. Like, I'm not going back to jail.
I think the clean part is what did it for them.
Yeah.
Because when people go back in front of the judge and they're not clean, obviously the
Oh,
judge
yeah,
can
dude,
tell
no.
somebody's all fucked up with his eyes
And
bugging
here's
out
the
of
thing:
his head.
I wasn't just clean. Like, I worked for DPH. I was involved with. I was a professional recovery coach. I did a lot with like youth prevention work. I did a lot of work with the recovery high schools. So I was like in it. I was in it. Like I was getting sober, and probably like 2 years into that, one of my best friends like died from an overdose, and I was like, this is fucking crazy. Like, somebody's got to do something.
It is crazy.
And
Yeah,
I
you
was an
fat
electrician,
benzo.
and I hated being an electrician, and all these people I knew were like in the recovery field, and they're making all this money, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do that. And so I got involved with it, and I worked my way up. I was a professional recovery coach, and then I started working for DPH under this SAMHSA grant to create youth community advisory boards. So I'd pretty much go around the state, set up these boards to get young adults in or seeking recovery to advise us on our programs and policies. And it's sad, really. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing too is like they don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? So these kids see it
Until you know it.
until you know it, and then you're like,
And then
what
you-
the
and
fuck?
And some people don't have that person to guide them in the right direction,
Well, that's
right?
the thing, and they can see someone like myself who's young, sober, having a good
You
time.
don't drink or anything?
No, nothing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, use nicotine.
Oh, you smoke them things like
Yeah,
brick? Oh, those
not
things are
not
awful.
often. Honestly, no. I vape a lot. I do vape a lot.
Now, he said he'd have a cigar on the show tonight.
I said I'd have a we used to, when I was early in sobriety, we used to go to the cigar bars all the time.
And
Yeah,
just hang out.
just hang out, bro. Yeah.
So this is a strictly
unfortunately.
cannabis lounge.
Yeah, strictly cannabis. Yeah, we could get a liquor license. We always just didn't do it because we didn't really.
Yeah.
We wanted to. We're cannabis. You know what I mean? We're not even a cannabis lounge. We're a private membership association. So legally.
That caters to cannabis.
Yeah. Well, what our members
Enthusiasts.
choose to do. Yeah, exactly. We try to. Our philanthropic purpose is to benefit our members socially and intellectually, right? So like, we want you to come there and be yourself, right? Like, and the majority of our members consume cannabis, and we allow that, right? And that's kind of like our social niche, so to speak. So we're trying to bring like-minded individuals together through cannabis.
And you guys offer a lot of stuff for how's the feedback with cannabis companies? Are you getting bringing in revenue? They've
Well, I
thrown
think
a lot of events
I
there.
think we provide a unique opportunity for them where we're a 21 plus establishment, you know, and our membership is 100%, you know, cannabis consumers. So it's like we're the target audience for them, you know. So and a lot of them frequent the lounge, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of their CEOs, a lot of their everything from CEOs to bud tenders come into the lounge frequently. So it's like, so they come there to hang out and enjoy themselves, and
Have
then they
meetings.
see all the other industry people there. So it just makes sense.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it's
So
nice.
we have a lot of partnerships with different. I mean, yes. I
Yeah, I like
Yes.
it.
Yeah, it's cool.
a good atmosphere.
it's a good. You've been there. You
Yeah,
enjoy
'cause I
it.
went to the party the other night. People were trying to broker deals on weed. You know what I mean? Industry people, brands.
Yeah, no,
I
that's-
seen the cases too in there. That
Yep.
shit was dope.
Yeah, no.
What do you lease out the cases?
Yeah. So it's all marketing, right? Because
Yeah.
we can't sell any cannabis products. So we don't sell any cannabis products. We don't provide any cannabis products, right? But we offer like brands and stuff that want to advertise to our membership. They can rent out cases in the lounge and
liked
exhibit
it.
non-product type stuff, empty cases.
Could
right?
they
No live product.
could they
we said.
put it in there and then technically you can give it away and
No,
ask for a
no.
donation?
No, it's
So-
pretty much display advertisement. it's pretty dope.
So we
it's
went
like
over
4
that
shelves.
at length with the city, the whole donation. You know what I mean? So it's in
Gift
law.
cards.
It's called a sham transaction. So like I sell you this T-shirt and it comes with a free eighth of weed. Technically, I'm charging you for the weed. So it's like we as a club can't give you so. Anyone working there, me working there, I can't give you any weed, right? Because I'm charging you to come in. So I'm taking money from you, right? But you as a member, once I charge you, and he's another member, I charged him, you guys, by Massachusetts law, are perfectly allowed to gift up to 1 ounce to each other. So we can't give away weed, but you can share a joint. Hey, I grew this amazing flower. Come check it out. Hey, do you want to dab? That's perfectly legal, right? So it's like as long as there's no monetary transaction, that's our stance on it. We've always said that, right? Even when we were primarily dealing with the black market, I'd tell them, I don't give a fuck if you go outside. Go out the front door. Do whatever you got to do. You just can't do it in here, you know?
How long did the process take when you first like brought it to the town and was like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm thinking about doing this?
So, all right. So it didn't really happen like that, right? So there's no like, they since changed it all. So we're grandfathered in. So they changed everything in Worcester after we opened, right? So,
Oh,
yeah.
they were making sure nobody else.
Hey, that was my
Changed
question. Can
everything.
somebody else go in there and just do the
So
same thing?
technically right now in Worcester, if you want to open another private membership association, you have to go through all the same regulations as like a retail dispensary, like the public heat notice, the zoning board of appeals, like all that shit. We didn't have to do any of that because when we opened,
They didn't have any regulations.
They didn't have anything. So it was as simple as going down to the building department, being like, "Hey, I rented the space. I want to change the occupancy. It was a tattoo shop. I want it to be a private club."
How long did the process take? Are you going back and forth with the town to like until you were fully opened? And then you were like, "Oh, it's not like that."
Started incorporating. We started incorporating probably like Q1, Q2 of 2017. Got all incorporated. Found a building. Probably like Q3, Q4, and then we started the build out, started that process
of changing it over to
and then
occupancy.
Q1 of 2018 is when we opened, and that's when the real shit started. Because like you got to think about the city, and here's the other caveat too. Like through the recovery stuff, like I did a lot of work with DPH, so I already knew everyone over there, right? So the city's subdivided, right? So it's like I'm not gonna go to the city manager to like get a license for my restaurant. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have anything to do with that process, right? So I did everything that was legally required of me through the building department, the board of health to get the tobacco license. So like the upper echelon of the city had no fucking clue what was going on, right? And then it comes out, and then when the first day we opened, I shit you not, there were vans with the telescopic dude out
Channel
front.
5?
Like it was crazy, dude. It was so wild. It was so wild.
Did a lot of people show up to partake?
No, honestly, no. It took a while to take off. Honestly, it took a while to take off because back then there were no dispensaries.
Should have had some people in the window just fucking hitting it.
But then you opened up, and then it must have been tough with Corona was right around the corner, right? Corona after you opened up didn't like
Corona.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah.
Didn't you tell me what it wasn't a little tough?
Yeah. Fucking
Corona,
COVID
like
crushed
the
us,
band,
dude. Yeah, Corona. Corona.
What is it? COVID?
Bro, we can't talk about it.
Coronavirus?
They'll pull this, all right? We can't.
I don't even know what it is. It's not even
Yeah,
my
obviously,
vocabulary.
Corona.
Okay?
The Corona's right here, empty. Speaking of,
Corona. Oh,
Listen, I didn't shut down work one day through any of that. Everybody worked.
dude, we're not even
were
going to get into a COVID conversation,
Bro,
right
we
now.
could. I could
Fuck
fucking.
COVID.
But it must have fucked you a little bit, right? Didn't you say you had to shut down?
I have a lot of beliefs about COVID. Okay, so we're not gonna get into that on this podcast because I don't want to.
No, fuck COVID.
But didn't you
Yeah,
end up
but,
going up to Maine though?
I did. So
because did they put restrictions on people? People weren't coming out.
Listen, I got one question. Because it was a social club, did you have to wear a fucking mask?
we had to close. So we were closed. We were straight closed for like probably 6 months, and then we reopened, and then we ended up closing down again because people just weren't coming in.
Get some ash in your shit. Don't burn it.
No.
Don't worry about the mess, dude. I make one every
yeah.
week, too.
It's
We
the
got clean up. Clean
Ricky
up out,
Ash is
too.
all over the fucking place, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Clean up out, too.
All right, we're putting the cigar out here. Cigar's done. It was great. Thank you so much.
No
I
problem.
appreciated that. I haven't had a
You
cigar in
smoked that
years.
like a joint, by the way.
Yeah, no, I do. Yes. All right, so Corona, right? So
Yeah,
Corona.
Yeah,
See?
hey, now we're talking about Corona.
we're talking
What is it?
about-
The coronavirus, right?
Coronavirus.
Yeah,
The
something
co-
like
as
that.
fucking Trevor says it.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
the C19. So I mean, obviously the world fucking stopped, right? Whether you believe it or not, whatever. It's not my, I have
Yeah,
a lot
we're not talking about
Yeah, it
that.
doesn't matter, right? So my parents own a bowling alley, a restaurant, and then we own the lounge. And overnight, it's like you're out of business, and the bills don't stop. I was in the middle of a 3-year lease. Like, what do I tell my landlord? And it's the same thing at all these other small mom and pop
They
shops.
just want their check.
That's it, bro. That's it. So
How it works.
so we kind of regrouped. My brother, we thought it was the end of the world. So so he came home from Pennsylvania. He moved back to Massachusetts, and we ended up looking at like cultivating, right? Because that's where the money's at, right? And those were essential businesses. So we looked at cultivating in Massachusetts, and it's fucking give us $250,000 and wait 2 years. And I'm like, I got rent next month.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. And I'm like, I got rent next month. Like, I need money now. So we ended up going up to Maine. I knew a lady from the industry in Mass who had moved up there a couple years before. She had a spare barn. My brother moved up there, got a state license. We got a caregiver license, and we were growing within 6 months, had a harvest and everything.
That's the difference between regulation and
Oh, that's that's the
overregulation.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
it's a balance, right? Like it's a balance. And like we were talking about Maine with like the testing and stuff like that. I think Maine is too unregulated, but coming from Massachusetts, we're too overregulated, right? So there's somewhere in the middle that works for businesses, but also protects the consumers. And I think Massachusetts and Maine have just missed the mark, right? Because it's like Maine, like you're selling moldy weed to fucking medical patients, and the price per pound is so low because there's so many establishments. You know what I mean? So it's like
unregulated.
Unregulated. You know,
it's regulated, but it's unregulated.
Yeah, which I mean, you know, I'm of the opinion that less regulation is fucking is always better, right?
I couldn't sell.
Well, if you're gonna regulate it,
space cake.
No, nothing.
You know, gummy.
The thing is, if you're gonna regulate it, at least do it correctly.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I think it's like Massachusetts overregulated because everyone was so scared of it. So to like get the buy-in of like those community groups and stuff, they tried to overregulate it. And now, you know, 5-6 years later, I think they're looking at themselves like, wow, we kind of screwed up, and now we got to deregulate, you know. But they can't do it all at once, so they're trying to roll back certain
I just
things.
don't understand that though. You fucking change shit. Like as far as you're trying to regulate for people that really don't fucking understand it. Don't care to know to fucking understand it.
Yeah.
But yet here we are trying to fucking appease them instead of,
well, bro, it's
mind your fucking business.
It's the whole it's fucking 2024, bro. Big government wins. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Oh, they've always been winning,
it's just
big government just getting bigger.
And just getting bigger, bro. And you look at the CCC. Why didn't we put cannabis under the ABC with alcohol, tobacco? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Why didn't we put it there? Why do we reinvent the wheel, create a whole new government body that has a different charter, a different
More jobs.
Right, like
more
thank you.
jobs.
Exactly, for the people that
that don't know anything.
So all they got to
jobs.
do is cut and paste from the alcohol and tobacco.
Why wouldn't they
people,
do that?
Pretty much essentially
Obviously,
what you
there's
did
going to be some
from,
nuance to
the
it. Yeah,
other
obviously
social
there's going to
club.
be some nuance, right? But
right,
like
little wrinkles here and there.
yeah,
change.
but I'm
I
like
think-
that
but
would
I-
have been better than reinventing the wheel.
But I think when they find out, like what you just said, people are smoking that need it for medical purposes are smoking this fucking shit with fucking mold, shit with fucking.
No.
Which Jeff, what else is in this shit that we're not supposed to be smoking?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe they do put it on the day and regulate it correctly.
Yeah. I feel like we're talking about Maine. We're talking about Maine, right?
But even Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is just too overregulated. Like just the way they.
But they're not even doing it correctly. They're overregulating. How's something
The wrong way,
overregulated?
yes,
And shit still that fucked up.
Well, that's the
Makes no sense.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It's a failure of government. You know, I say all the time when people talk about like when the Republicans talk about this big government administrative state, like copy and paste Cannabis Control Commission, like that's what they are. You know what I mean? Like they just didn't. I think they tried to look at the worst case scenario and then talk to all the wrong people and made regulations based on the buy-in of groups, like you said, that know absolutely nothing about cannabis, know absolutely nothing about business, you know what I mean? So
Because
they're
of the stigma
designing
that it's a
this-
drug.
Yeah, exactly. They're still looking at it. Like I say it all the time. Cannabis is regulated as a hazardous material, not a consumable product. It's just, they just overregulated it in ways that
Exactly.
don't really make any sense.
And anything that you consume is regulated, like food, right? Just go to
Regulated?
food. Forget
Oh,
the
yeah.
alcohol, forget everything else.
Yeah.
That's heavily regulated
It's
because you
heavily
consume
regulated.
it on a daily basis.
They-
you have people that consume weed. But guess what? If something has salmonella, you can't fucking just take out the few tops that have fucking salmonella and
No.
throw it away. Be like, oh, don't worry. It didn't hit the bottom of it. So it's
No.
just a shit up top that we found
I
that salmonella.
like with food regulations, and we were talking about this a little bit before, where it's like they license the facility, they don't license the product, right? So like when we have our food inspection, they don't come in and test our milkshakes, they come in and test the facility, right? If the facility and the logic behind that, right, is if the facility is clean, then the product's going to be clean with anything, right? Like, do you think they
Quality
tested
control.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
still have to test,
Yeah,
product.
but that's far and few between if the facility is clean.
Since you've had this place,
shit pisses
so
me
you go
off
up to Maine, you do good up in Maine.
Yeah, we did good enough, man. Yeah,
Save the shop.
We saved the lounge. We saved the bowl. All the businesses are still open. We sold the grow in Maine. I want to say last December. So it's been about a year. When I say sold, so I guess technically I've sold a business, but it's not like you know what I mean? Like I made enough money where I could come back to Massachusetts and focus on the lounge and have my bills paid for a couple of months. You know what I mean? And which is fine because then COVID was over by then, so we could really start ramping things up at the summit. And that was the goal of Maine. Maine wasn't to make $1 million; it was literally to pay my bills while this craziness was happening.
And that's what's great about cannabis.
Yeah,
you can be in the hole, go set up shop.
Bro. I'm telling you, when everything was closed, I'm sitting there with my family, and we're like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" And I'm sitting there like, "We're gonna sell weed. Like that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sell weed."
You can go back to being an electrician.
Yeah, I'm like, no fucking way, dude. I'm not doing that.
So you've been open almost going on.
Yeah, 7 years in
So there must
February.
be some money in this.
I mean, I was saying, it's like I tell everyone, I drive a new truck, I have a nice apartment, a beautiful fiance. Like my life, I'm not hungry, I eat. But like, am I gonna put a kid through college? No fucking way. Am I gonna be able to afford a house? No way.
What are your plans with this lounge? You're gonna
I think it's it really depends on the regulatory situation with social consumption, right? Like, I mean, it's like, which way are they going to go?
It'd be a home run if you could sell the people the products there and they'd smoke it.
Well, that's the idea. You know what I
That'd
mean?
be a home
But
run.
we're just waiting. I've been waiting for 6 years. I mean,
cake.
social consumption was in the first round of draft regulations. So we've been waiting 6 years. They said they're going to do it. I don't know where it is. I go to all these little advocacy groups around social consumption. I went to one at the Freedom Rally. We had a meetup,
It's
right?
almost like seeing chickens in the chicken coop. They're all cackling.
Well, that's and I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Well, we talked to the CCC, and they're gonna release the regulations in October, this and that, and they're gonna have draft regulations ready by October." It's fucking the 22nd.
This has been a long drawn out process.
And I feel bad, but like I feel like I'm like the Debbie Downer when we talk about this, but I'm like, yo, the CCC is never gonna have regulations. You can't have a social consumption establishment when you regulate the product as a hazardous material. You can't in any world say that it's okay. You know what I mean? So it's like to have a workable model for social consumption, you need to fundamentally change the regulations of cannabis. And if you're not willing to do that, then like we can't have a social consumption establishment because
That's because they keep catering to the fucking people that don't.
That's the thing. And
know anything about
Yeah,
it.
instead of having to charge the people coming in to smoke.
Bro, they did a fact finding mission. They flew all over the country to look at social consumption establishments. I'm literally a block away from them.
That's what I was going to ask
And
you.
all fucking, you know what I mean?
You
Like,
should have stopped by.
why would they stop by? You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm, and they've always taken the attitude that like they don't regulate us, so it's almost like a blind eye. Like they know we're there, right? They know
They have to.
I've had conversations with multiple commissioners, right? And it's not beneficial to me to interact with the CCC until there is a point with the licensing.
Didn't you say there was something? Did you reach out to them, or they reached out to you, or you reached out to them, and then after that there was like an investigation opened up on you or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You reached out to them, or they reached out to you?
So, what happened? So, all right, and this. So,
is this touchy?
I mean, well, it is, right? Because I'm here.
We could just say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Okay, allegedly. A
Yes.
lot of things
Yeah, he
allegedly
already put that on.
Inspector Clouseau.
Yes, is this guy a Fed? All right. No, so I had a meeting with them, right, to explain the lounge. This is when they were getting that social consumption working group together, right? And I had a meeting with them, and I pretty much laid out the whole lounge because I have nothing to hide. You know what I mean? Like I have nothing to hide. We're not doing anything illegal. Like
In your tenure, in your period of being open, have you ever had the cops come there? Has there
No.
been any fights?
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
No
Never.
word of
Never.
anybody like,
Never.
hey, Randy left there fucking
Nope.
last
Never.
night, totaled the fucking
No, never.
Is it
the
men?
Yaris.
Never. We've had we have had a couple like medical emergencies, right? A person had a seizure there actually pretty recently, and and we treat it just like any other.
Gave him a sugar cube.
No, we called the
That would've fixed
EMTs.
him.
We call the EMTs just like any business would. If someone has a seizure at a bar, what happens? You call the police. That gets on the EMTs. The EMTs take the person to the hospital and
the
they check them
wallet in
out.
their
Well, if you got a bar open,
Yeah.
there's at least been the cops called there.
that's what I'm
at
saying.
least
So
a few
we've
times
never-
a summer.
It's a different gig.
Bar fights.
It's completely
You know
different.
what I mean?
It's
So yeah, it'd be a complete home run if they could just sell the people the products, come there and smoke them. That would be so awesome.
tell the CCC that.
Oh, they won't.
So
take
you
my
opened
call.
up. You had this meeting with them. You opened up a bunch.
So I had a meeting with them. I'm open and honest about everything we do, everything, so I had this meeting, everything went good. Thought we'd talk again. It was great, and then next thing you know, I get hit up from some of these companies that they're getting RFIs that are directly related to our nonprofit, right? And I got the opportunity to see some of them, and it was pretty concerning. You know, the stuff that the Cannabis Control Commission was investigating through their licensees. Like it was, you know, and I understand what they were trying to do is they were looking for companies that were diverting product, right? But the way they were going about it was, I personally believe.
What, they thought companies were selling weed through your place?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. All I know is from the RFIs, they were very clearly investigating the Summit Lounge, which is a registered nonprofit, which is outside of their purview. They can't investigate us.
Yeah, but do you think they were trying to do that to shut you down?
I do. Well, I think because here's the other thing that's like, you know, if they come out with a license for social consumption and I'm here with my flag in the ground and I choose not to get their license, because that's a very real possibility that I could look at their license and be like, doesn't benefit me. Why would I get this license? I'm in direct contradiction to now the license that they're making money off of. So how can they have some place that's in their eyes unlicensed using, you know, and that's their words, not mine, because we did an event and they put out a fucking enforcement thing, and they called us they called us an unlicensed facility, right? And we are not unlicensed. I have multiple licenses through the city of Worcester, through the state, through the federal government. Like, I'm a licensed facility. I'm just not licensed by them, you know? So they sent out these RFIs. After reading the RFIs, it became very clear to me and our legal team that they were investigating our registered nonprofit. I made them aware of that.
So they're just pissed off that you slipped through the cracks.
I think so. The Cannabis Control Commission doesn't regulate us. We're a registered nonprofit. We're a 501c7. We're regulated by the state and our municipality. We're not regulated by the CCC.
Now, do you do any charity events or anything else like that?
Yeah, we've done charity events in the past. We've done it. We just did one for a charity with Re-Up, and Bada Bloom was involved for domestic violence survivors and stuff like that. We've done. We did a lot of work with NEVA in the past, the New England Veterans
Bada
Alliance.
Bloom, great operation.
Do you remember them?
Yeah. They were on the show.
Yeah, the episode's coming out.
Really? Oh, Bada Bloom. You're talking about? Yeah. They're fucking amazing. They're hands down great people. Great people.
Without a doubt.
People. Yeah. NEVA, New England Veterans Alliance. They were another nonprofit that focused on veterans' use of cannabis for PTSD and a bunch of stuff. We did a lot of charity events with them. Then I like Canines for Disabled Kids. We did some charity events for them in the past. They buy dogs for children with disabilities.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we've done charity stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a different type of charity. So there's all these different 501c3s all the way to 501c7. I think there's even up to like 10. I don't know. Right. But we're a 501c7, which is like a fraternal organization.
You're well rounded on these organizations.
I got some things. Yeah. No. But yeah, they yeah, I don't know. So we've always had like a tumultuous relationship with the Cannabis Control Commission, and I've always just wanted it to be honest and open. And I don't know, man.
You gotta pay to get in. That's what they're looking for.
That's what it is, bro. You
gotta pay to get in.
You gotta pay the lobbyists. You gotta pay the lawyers. You gotta pay to play.
They feel like you're not paying enough.
And you know, when you look at all the problems from testing down to fucking enforcement, you know, everything, bro. It's all who you know.
What's the hours of operation?
Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 11. Depending if we have an event or not.
So I can grab a coffee on the way in.
Yeah.
So people can bring in their own beers?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, you can only go in being a member on those hours? It's not like 7 days a week you can go in and light up?
No. So those are our open hours, and then we have events whenever people want them, right? So like we had an event, we had a hash class.
So you're having a Halloween party, a Christmas party, a New Year's Eve party.
Yep.
But you bought into this thinking that you would end up getting in social consumption, right? Pretty much. Mm-hmm. What's the most discouraging thing that you would like to change that you think would help move this forward?
I mean,
social consumption.
The CCC.
What is it?
It's embarrassing. It is. I remember when Massachusetts first legalized, and what I voted for and what we have now are worlds apart. You know, and
by what? By what?
I feel like I voted to regulate cannabis like alcohol, and I don't feel like it's regulated like alcohol in any respect, right? And I think that's the failing of the CCC. When we first launched, you know, legalization, like They wanted to be a model. They wanted to do this. They were going to be a model for the rest of the country. And I feel like, honestly, they failed. They failed at their mandate. And I think there needs to be changes. And I think we're starting to see that when you start looking at like the Solicitor General, like all that conversation. I think the
Why were you involved in like the legalization, like around like
not
going to
really.
the
We came in right
meetings,
after
or-
it. We came in right after it, so I got to see the industry because we were open before the first dispensary. So I got to see the industry literally grow. And back in the day, I remember sitting there with like people who were in the traditional market, and they're all excited, and we're gonna have a license, and we're gonna have a place in this industry, and they've all left.
Yeah, because it priced it out.
They priced it out.
Cost way too much.
It is it's
To have the
disheartening. It's disheartening to see to go from something that was so hopeful to now see people just at their wits' end. Like to go to some of these meetings and hear these people that have spent thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions in hopes of getting a license,
And they got nothing.
They got nothing. They got screwed. They got screwed by their government. They got screwed by they voted something into law, and their government turned around
Bureaucracy of
and
it all.
bastardized it to the point where it screwed the constituents.
Why was it?
And
like,
that's what happened.
Was there clear writing saying it was going to be treated like alcohol?
I think that was like the whole ballot initiative. Like I feel like that. And I could be completely wrong. I feel like I know for a fact that social consumption was in the first draft regulations. Like they were, like it was supposed to happen, and here we are 6 years later.
Yeah, but I think everybody had that. Everybody had that. It was going to be like alcohol.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that, I remember that being like the focal point of the legalization campaign.
Yeah, legal
like,
is going to be like alcohol.
yeah,
Period.
which I it's not. It's not like alcohol.
No.
Fucking
At
played.
all. It's outrageous. It's crazy to me that like that no one does anything about it. Like when I hear because a lot of our members are in the cannabis industry, and it's like I hear the stories of these inspectors showing up and not knowing their ass from their elbow, and then like issuing these edicts to these companies, and I hear about the compliance nightmares they have to go through dealing with this regulatory body, and it's like coming from the other side of that. Yes, we allow the consumption of cannabis, but we're not a cannabis establishment. So when I talk with Worcester about like our food license or occupancy permit or business license, like I feel good. Like I don't feel like I could call up my health inspector and be like, hey, like what about this? Like what do you think about this? The CCC, like you don't have that type of relationship with them. Like
No.
they're not a
not-
there's good
they're not a
government.
Stop
Are
and
you
buy,
are
but
you
social
scared that
call.
you think they can change regulations and they can kind of shut that portion down with the consumption part?
Yeah,
Why
I
do
mean
you
that's always a thing. I'm not. I don't think. I think. As a citizen, I should never be scared of my government. And do I have a very real fear that they could arbitrarily change some shit and I have to fight them in court? Yeah, But I'm not gonna live my life out of fear of something that it's by the people for the people. You know what I mean? Like
Why do you feel that's the vibe you get get from the CCC?
that's just always the vibe, bro.
What do you mean? They're always fucking testing them.
Yeah, bro. Like it's why did they spend our tax dollars to fly all over the country to look at social consumption establishments and not even walk down the street? That's why. Why do they call us an unlicensed establishment? Why do they send out RFIs harassing our membership?
Because essentially it would be the same thing.
Why,
other than the sale.
I've never gotten a good vibe from them. There's no good vibe to be had. And you talk with anyone else in the industry too. It's not like these inspectors come in and they're like, oh, hey, like, let's figure this out. No, it's like, I don't know, but you're screwed.
But your model is pretty much what they're trying to replicate.
Yeah.
Less the sale of the
Yeah,
product.
which it makes no sense.
So people are consuming. There's parties being thrown, events. This would be all the data that you'd want to know to like see how many times there was an accident the night of the event, or something that was linked to it. Because anybody who knows a bar, it goes around the bar. Hey, so and so left wasted, got an OUI.
and I would-
so and so totaled his fucking Jeep. Fucking that's like
Bro, and
a
I
monthly
have,
occurrence at an alcohol
Yeah, but even that
establishment.
though, the bars are so
you know?
protected on that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you would think
Yeah,
that they would
but-
want the data from a guy who's been doing it, that people have been coming, consuming for 6 years, trying to.
Yeah,
would
but
think
they're not.
that.
At this
You would
point,
think that.
you're right.
So that's what your biggest failure is. Something that you would change was the communication with the CCC. And,
Yeah, I think they're. I think they're a fundamentally flawed government agency. I think I think that they tried to do their best and they failed, and now they can't reverse course in a way that
so they're just gonna go down. They're
doubling down, bro. It's crazy. It's and it's fine. Like I'm not like I said, like it is.
What I don't understand is, right, you're just putting on an establishment for people to consume what's legal. Right?
Why can't I sell it?
They're paying attention to all the details on that, but they're not paying attention to the shit that the people that are consuming in there that are fucking got mold and got a bunch of all kinds of other shit in there that they should be fucking paying attention to. Because you're just saying, hey, they can just come here and smoke the shit that you said is good.
Yeah, but
you're not even fucking regulating that.
But here's the thing, though. Social consumption, just like the delivery license, the retail delivery, that social equitable status, you have to get one of them licenses. The same thing that's going to happen with social consumption, right?
Yep.
Social equitable status. They haven't rolled that out. The delivery license is the cheapest license and the least profitable. If you really want to do social equality, if you really had a program, why wasn't like a cultivation license made?
Bro,
why weren't you like pushing that as the license to actually be equal?
How are social equity applicants who are supposed to get the
least
front
promising
seat,
license,
the front seat, how are they still waiting while other companies are buying and selling each other? How's that even a thing? Like I know social equity applicants who have been waiting fucking years to get their license.
Yep.
And these other companies are able to buy and sell each other
cheaper than what they could.
This is what I'm saying, and you're sitting here and you're looking at the whole social equity thing. Like, bro, I'm a social equity applicant. I don't even want to use that because like I always bring up like the 51%. It makes no sense. Like, it literally is a bad business decision to invest in a company where one partner has to legally retain 51% of that business. It's a bad bit. I wouldn't invest in that. I just wouldn't do it. That makes no sense.
Right, you were comparing it to as you grow, you sell bits and
pieces, bro.
Yeah,
do you think Elon Musk owns all of Tesla? No, he probably owns 2 or 3% because as you scale a business, you need investment. So you do like round A, round B, round C, round D, right?
Yeah, but eventually it's going to come around.
No, but wait.
So the people with the deep pockets are going to buy all that out.
Yeah, but
you can't as a social equity applicant.
You can't.
You have to retain 50%.
So you have to be majority owner.
You got to sell a bunch of money out and retain 51% of the company.
That's the worst part of it.
Nobody's going to do that.
And then it's like you're trying to give these people an opportunity and you're telling them, oh, but we're going to dictate what you can or can't do with your business. Just let them have a business. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I just, and this goes back to the whole point of Maine where it's like, Maine, $1,800. Anyone can have a business. You're up and running. You know what I mean? Like that, if you want real equity, that's what you do, because then you'll have the big players and the small players, and the free market will win out.
And all the
taxes, the best product,
and all the extra taxes,
bro. And that's the other thing. By being so restrictive, you're trying to get it on the back end by creating all these consultants and all these people. When in reality is you should want more businesses selling more product, employing more people, not make it so difficult where the only people that are getting rich off of this are the consultants and the lawyers and the lobbyists. Like, if we wanted real equity,
fucking slaughtering Mother Goose.
Yeah, no, well, it makes no sense. But that's small business in Massachusetts. Like, they give tax breaks to big corporations that want to employ people, but those mom and pop shops, your licensing fees are going up, your cost of goods sold are going up, your insurance is going up. Big businesses don't think about that shit, and that's what you get when you overregulate the free market. That's what we're in, and we use things like equity to talk about, like, oh, we're providing
injustice.
Yeah, which is real justice would be cutting regulations to the point where anyone can operate a business.
But see what I'm getting though? You created social equitable, but you gave them the worst license and the cheapest license, so you can kind of retain 51%. You might be able to find somebody.
But they don't work. The licenses don't work.
You might be able to find somebody to give you $500,000 and you can create
the 2-driver rule.
But how that's set up, you don't make no money, so no business guy is really going to invest that much into you.
That's what
now to get the cultivation, the next like the license where you actually can do something, you need like to raise $3.5, $4, $5 million, depending on the real estate or not. But you don't own the real estate, so you're probably going to get shammed out of that deal and pay some exorbitant fucking lease fee while you spend 4 years getting your license.
And here's the other thing:
that's Walmart pockets.
Bro,
yeah, but they're not going to do it for 49%. What's Walmart going to want? 98% of the company?
That's what I'm saying.
They're not gonna do that.
I'd rather have 2%
So you don't have
of
social
100 million.
equitable.
Yeah, so you're instantly putting these people at a disadvantage. You're not going to be able to get any of that institutional money because when they look at the cap deck and
But
they
it's
look
almost
at
on
the
purpose, though,
raise,
so they
They're
can
not gonna
control
do it.
everything.
they're not going to do it. Why would they do
Yeah,
it?
but
That
you
makes no
created
sense.
something to be
Stupid.
equal
So then
for
we-
somebody who had a hardship from cannabis, and you didn't make them an equal at all. You barely got them into the game,
You
like on
didn't,
the lowest level
You
to
almost
lose money.
at a detriment. Like you almost detrimented them in the grander scheme of
mocked
shit.
them.
Like it's crazy. It's like you said, for cultivation, it's some of the raises, you're talking millions. It's like
Yeah.
I can't go to an investor and be like, yeah, I've never operated this business. I have no business experience. I'm
Yeah, I got a
technically
GED.
I'm a fucking
Yeah.
criminal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm a criminal. Like, yeah, give me
I
6
may
million.
not. I may
and
or
like,
may not have went to night
hey,
school.
I need to own 51% of this company forever. I'm gonna look at you. If I had the millions,
Nobody's
I'd be
going
like,
to invest.
I'm gonna,
but
I'm gonna go to
honestly,
the
though,
guy who isn't a social equity applicant, who isn't a criminal, who has business experience, who can sell 100% of the company. I'm gonna invest in his company.
Right.
I'm not gonna invest in your company.
I don't know. I put my money behind the fucking criminal. They're the smartest motherfuckers out there.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
Think
There's
about
something,
that to
there's something to
somebody.
be
Hey,
said
think
for it,
about it.
but here's the other misconception with cannabis is too. It's like it's altruistic, and you hear these people that get into this and they love the plant, and there's a place for that. But at the end of the day, man, it's a fucking business. We're in a legal industry. This is a business. Like
Yeah.
it matters more who your accountant is than how much you love the cannabis plant. And people don't want to accept that hard reality of this. That through legalization, we've destroyed that culture that came with cannabis, and now it's all business. And if you can't transition to that, like, you're gonna get left behind.
That's
and
why-
it's fucking sad, but it's the truth.
It's almost set up to give them the smallest license. So as they keep on releasing this grant money, free money to them,
It's just a payoff, so they don't complain.
They're not paying to sustain somebody on a cultivation license. They're only paying the minimalist license, so the Band-Aid's cheaper for them to keep on saying, hey, we got a social
Well,
equitable
that's the thing.
industry.
The whole thing, bro. If it was a profitable
That's
business,
the
I wouldn't
truth.
need a grant.
Yeah.
If I run a profitable business, why would I need a grant? I don't. You know what I mean? I'm running a profitable business.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is it's just designed. This whole social equity program was designed to pat us on the back and not do anything. And
It's a fugazi, a fugazi.
Fugazi, it's a
Yeah,
floozy, it's a
a wizzy,
flazy.
yeah.
You know? It's the best
On the
movie
wall.
ever. That's the best
On that
movie ever.
movie, yeah.
It's a Corona.
It's a corona. Nah, it's sad. It's sad because there does need to be some place for social justice in this whole thing. Like we destroyed
They need
people's
to start
lives.
with people. Yeah, but
You know what I
the
mean?
problem is they need to start with putting people in that are regulating, that know. You know what they need to do?
Yes.
They need to put criminals, former criminals that's cleaned themselves up
Bro,
in those regulation positions.
Well, they have all these. Sorry, can I swear on this?
Criminal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can swear.
Fuck it.
No, you can't. Hey, don't worry.
I don't know
Well,
if you
hey,
noticed, we've been swearing
we'll
on
beep it
They
out.
need it, like, bro. Well, they have all these boards, the consumer advisory boards, and the fucking equity boards, and all these boards of all these people advising the CCC and all
This is
these.
a government check.
And you're just
That's all
like,
it
and you're
is.
just like over here, you're not doing anything. Where's the advocacy? Where's the lawmakers? Where's the people that are like, hey,
You know,
we voted
listen,
for this, you gave us
They're
this?
too busy having lunch.
That's the truth.
They're very
Yeah,
busy.
but when,
the
when
truth,
all that
'cause when
tax money starts to slow down, that's when they're gonna fucking.
Bro, you see the
That's when-
closures? There's a lot of companies that are closing.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah. Couple MSOs 3 weeks ago. Why did some more fall in the last
Yeah,
couple
I
weeks?
think there was a couple posts that I saw about companies closing.
Yeah, I just seen something in the Boston Business Journal too.
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
how
the
much
places are
money did
closing
they
'cause their
make?
Weed sucks.
When this first came out and
You know, a
was
lot of
legal,
places are closing 'cause
everybody
their
racing to
products
get those
aren't any
licenses.
good.
The only
They're growing garbage.
The grown garbage.
Remediated.
Yeah, which is great. That's how it should be.
how's the
But
quality of product over the years at the Summit Lounge? Has it
I'll
gone
be
up?
honest with you. So there was a point where I would not recommend any legal cannabis to somebody, and that's definitely changed. You got some fire coming out of these places.
Yeah?
Like there's some fucking gas out there.
Is some
There
places
is,
that you
like-
recommend?
Yeah, Wellman Farms, OMG, they're really good. Heirloom is fucking amazing.
Harbor House.
Yeah, Harbor House is fire. They got
Sparks
the
is good too.
Spark is really
They were
good.
on the show. They brought some weed. We were smoking it.
Yep, they have really good flour. There's some really quality stuff coming out in Massachusetts. Like there really is.
How about
Really
the
is.
guys pulling out the sandwich bag at the
Bro, everyone's allowed
At the
to have
club.
legally up to 1 ounce. All right.
No, how's the bud coming out of the sandwich bag? Is better than the stuff in the.
It depends. It depends. If you go up to Maine, you can get. I mean, I think Maine is our equivalent of the
California.
Emerald Triangle. Like, bro, it's fire up there. Like, there's so much good product because, bro, it's 500 square feet for a caregiver. You can water it. You can hand water every plant.
Yeah.
You know
no,
what I mean?
I was talking about it at the shop, at the club. Coming through, who's got better weed? The guys the dispensary guys, or the people that show up with like the home growers, the local guys to Worcester? You must get some of the local
It depends.
weed heads.
Yeah. I mean, we do. I think there's the legal market, right? It's not a lot of those guys are going up to Maine. They're going to New York. They're going to these other places because Massachusetts, when you can buy an ounce at a dispensary for $100 as a home grower, you're out of business. You know what I mean? You can't compete with that. Like the price, the quality goes down, but the price per pound also goes down with scaling. So it's like you can't keep up to that. You know what I mean?
Costs a lot to grow weed.
It costs a lot to grow weed. And it's like when you're a home grower with 12 plants, right? Like there's no way to sell that and make a profit. And even if you're smoking for your own consumption, like you start running those numbers and it's like, bro, what I'm paying in electricity, labor, water, nutrients, fucking infrastructure, right? Like I'd be better off just buying that $100 ounce. And that's the reality. So that, you know what I mean? Yeah, we built home grow in, but through scaling and through the maturity of the market, like there's no point. You know what I mean? You'd be better off just going to buy it.
So the brands that come through there, what if I was a brand that wanted to rent out the bar for a night or industry night, what's it cost for somebody?
So we have a price sheet.
How do they get in contact with you?
They just hit us up, bro.
Summit Lounge.
All roads lead to me. You can email us, help@the-Summit Lounge. You can hit us up on Instagram. Give us a call. The phone goes right to my cell phone.
What's the IG? Just Summit Lounge? Is it
It's like
underscore or something?
Yeah, it's like Summit Lounge _ MA, I think.
All right. Well, we got to figure out how these people get a hold of you, but you've been around a while.
Get a hold of us. I'm trying to find the fucking IG now. Yeah, Summit Lounge _ MA. The Summit Lounge.
The Summit Lounge.
The Summit Lounge.
Don't fuck that up.
Yeah, don't fuck that up. Dude, just hit us up, bro. That's the way to do it. All roads lead to me. We try to make everything work for people. Like I don't price gouge. You know what I mean? Like I hear what other people are charging for events. We don't do that.
Handicapped access?
Oh yeah. ADA requirements, bro. It's building code.
He's legit.
Bro, I'm legit.
This ain't no speakeasy. You got anything else you want to find out?
We are right on the main drag. We have a fucking private cannabis club in our front window.
Yeah, I like it.
We are not hiding anything. We are 100% legal. We have our regular food inspections. We have building inspections. We do,
Where do you see this going? To a place we can sell food?
Yeah, I mean, I hope.
That would just be so killer, dude.
I think we're a long way off. I think
years.
Years. Yeah, everyone likes to be hopeful with social consumption. I mean, we can break it down real quick. If they were to drop the draft regulations today, you're talking 6 months to 8 months before they have like the final regulations voted in. Then you're talking like, because with social consumption too, you gotta figure in the municipalities. They need to opt in. So it's either through a ballot initiative or through a vote of the town selectmen. So it's like...
So it looks like you're just going to have to wait to get this social consumption license.
A whole nother,
waiting game.
Yeah, I think it's, it's been a waiting game for 6 years. Everyone likes to be hopeful. I'll just keep waiting, Right now we got something that works. People like it. People enjoy it. The community respects us. People like us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't,
You haven't given up on the dream yet?
No.
He's close.
Giving up on the dream. I think about it like I'm getting older, dude. I started this when I was 28. I'm almost 35. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And like I said, now we're talking
35 is not old.
Yeah, but now we're talking about marriage. We're talking about kids. And unfortunately, like, the Summit Lounge in its current iteration
you ain't going to pay for enough kids.
Ain't going to pay for those kids.
You got like a half a kid.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially with inflation.
A little midget or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
troll.
I don't know.
Hey, they don't like that
That's
word.
the reality. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, what, do I keep waiting? Do I try something different? I've had some other opportunities come up. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Time will tell.
If you do have a kid, don't break up.
We are ready to.
Don't do it, Rick.
We're interested in expanding in multiple directions should the licensing happen.
No doubt.
You're ready to pivot.
We're ready to pivot. I'm ready to pivot on a dime.
Well, thanks for
find
coming
some
on the show.
loopholes.
Yeah, find some loopholes.
Yeah, we wish you
Loopholes.
luck.
There's
Go
always.
up there to the Summit Lounge and have
Yeah,
a
come
drink.
check us out. Come check
Yeah.
us out. People like it. I enjoy
Great
being
spot.
there. Yeah, you'll see me making
The Summit Lounge.
Yeah, the Summit Lounge _MA, or just Summit
Right, we can
Lounge.
get a killer milkshake and have a bong hit.
.com. Yeah,
Yeah, you got a website.
we got a website.
How much it
We got a
cost to
website.
rent
All
a
roads
bong?
lead
Hey,
to
what's
Kyle.
$5.
Hey, what's the milkshake to go to over there?
Dude,
I'm just gonna show up and order 6 milkshakes.
so
Gonna
the
shit his
best,
pants on the way home.
literally, the best one we got right now, I think, is the best selling one is the Cup of Dirt. Second best selling one is the peanut butter breath, and then my personal
What's
favorite.
the cup of dirt?
It's like she uses vanilla ice cream, pudding mix, Oreos, gummy worms,
And
gummy
vodka.
frogs, like a vodka. You can add vodka in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. We did an event with one group where we were selling special milkshakes, and then they had another member would infuse it for you. So that was cool. That was fun.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
I'm telling you, it's no
Better
joke.
than yours.
People love the milkshakes.
Well,
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's a wrap.
I guess
that's a wrap. Episode 17.
That's
So-
it.
you doing?
18.
18.
I don't fucking know.
Dude, fucking,
Bro, all roads
fucking
lead to it.
GD on
Yeah.
GD on display.
Episode 18, Summit
Yeah, right.
Lounge.
You can't
Kyle
count
Moon.
that high.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny.
It's
Yeah.
Kyle Moon, right?
It is. It is Kyle Moon.
I didn't know if it was short for Mooney.
No, Moon. I'm not related to the drummer or the football player.
Or Reverend Moon.
No, don't know who that. I've never heard that one before, but yep, nope. Moon.
Yeah, you got the degenerative DNA. No.
Literally, I could be a drummer. My cousin's actually a drummer for Dispatch.
Oh, damn.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking crazy.
So what the
All right,
fuck? You don't play music?
No, I'm not into music at all. Honestly, it's weird.
You don't even give
it's
a
weird.
fuck. You're
No,
just like-
no, I'm just here, bro. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
living
know,
life.
you're just
Yeah,
like,
right.
whatever. I got the fucking place. Fucking.
Just come down.
Didn't even
get
want to
high.
fucking give out like where you could find this guy. Nothing.
Look at
Bro.
this fucking contraption
I
right
hate
now.
I hate the self promotion. You know what I mean? I don't fucking like it. Hence the merch. All right, are we done? We're done.
I like the idea of the milkshake. That's
Dude, the
a pretty good
milkshakes kill
idea.
it. Honestly, the
That's probably
milkshakes kill it.
killer.
Yeah, the milkshakes. Bro, thank you for that fucking cigar. Now you gotta come to the lounge.
Wake up in the morning, got a bag on my schedule. Niggas talking, bitches talking, they is not on my level. Check the time, wrist, rollie, rose gold on the bezel. Grab my keys and get my cell and hit the door with a shovel. It's time to get it out the mud, 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 out the mud. It's time to get it.